what do you mean you're gonna kill a whole man? I'm genuinely upset. I was like, girl, put it in the cart. I'ma say it. I'ma just say it. Aaron Warner. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name's Lena. Today I'm doing an exciting video. I haven't done one of these since 2023. Today I'm doing a February and March reading wrap up. Let's get started. Let me show you the stack that I got. Oh my god, can I even do this? Oh my god! I have not held up a book stack this big in a minute. So the first book that I read in February was Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. So this is a second chance romance. I'd say that's the trope. It starts with these two people in their 20s, Matt and Grace, and they're in New York City. Honestly, that's what sold me for this book. When I saw they were in New York, I was like, girl, put it in the cart. You don't gotta tell me more. If they're in New York, let's go. Anywho, they meet in college and then they're friends, you know the vibes. And then somehow like something happens, and then now in the future, I want to say it's like about 10 years since they last saw each other. Or no, 15 years ago, it says right here. So it's been 15 years since they last seen each other. And then it does the alternating timelines where it goes back in time and then forward and back. I think once I got closer to the end, I knew what what I was gonna expect to be the reason why they stopped talking. Very good book. I flew through the book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads because when I finished the book, that was just like the energy I had, and I really enjoyed the book. That's like my ratings on Goodreads tends to be just how I felt when reading it and how I felt at the end. Thinking back on it now, I would maybe say it's a 4-star, but my original rating was a 5-star. Okay, now the next part is a series, and that is the Shatter Me series. Oh my gosh, okay. So I'll do a quick run through. I'll just give a quick synopsis of what the series is about. This is the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. This is a fairly old series. Like, this has been around. She was on BookTube back in like 2014 or something like that. This is about this girl, Juliet, and it's a dystopian world where she has a fatal touch, so no one can touch her skin. There's this group called the Reestablishment that is the one that basically decided to take control of the entire world. Juliet is in this place and she thinks that she's gonna be used as a weapon for them. She just wants to be free. Like, she's a teenage girl. I believe she starts the book and she's like 17. But this one, I actually gave this one a 3-star. Okay, hear me out. I don't know. It's obviously the first book, so usually I find the first book is the best one, but for some reason it got better from here. I think the hype is too big that I had such intense expectations and they didn't meet them. Maybe it's because it's YA and I'm like used to a certain writing style. Anyways, 3-star for the first book in the series. And obviously I can't say what this one's about because then it spoils the first one if you haven't read the series. I feel like most people have read the series and I am the last one reading this series. This one I gave a 5-star. So I think it's because the action kind of started going and you met certain characters and you kind of just got a little taste of something. I don't know. Okay, and then this one, Ignite Me, I also gave a 5-star. And remember, these are what the ratings are immediately after I finished the book. Like, thinking back on it now, like, I don't remember that much, so I feel like it's not as 5-star if you don't really remember. But this is my initial feeling, was a 5-star. Everyone says that Ignite Me is the best one in the series. I think I agree. Loved it. This was the peak of the romance in the book. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't think that's a spoiler, but it's the peak romance because everyone knows there's a little romance in this. Now, next up was Restore Me. This one I gave a 4-star. Frankly, all the books are blending into one for me because it's been a little bit since I've read it, but also I just find like you're continuously going from one book to the next. This one was a 4-star. Now, randomly enough, I'm looking at my Goodreads right now and I rated this one a 5-star, and I think I remember why, okay? And honestly, I should have rated it less because of this reason. But there's a certain character, I feel like everyone's read this, but I still don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there's a certain character that you see a little bit more of in this. And I'm honestly really upset that there's not more about this character. See a little bit of potential romance. There was more chemistry in this book. Like, I feel like the words on the paper were just hitting, and I was just reading like giggly, like Why didn't they put more of this character? I'm genuinely upset. So, but I gave it a 5-star because they gave a little slice of that character. And then Imagine Me was a 4-star for me, but it was a great series to go through. It was very YA though. I almost want to say if I read this when I was younger, I would have loved it. As a whole, I honestly want to say, like, compared to the other series that I've read, I want to say it's maybe like a 3.5-star series. No one come for me, okay? Like, and I'ma say it. I'ma just say it. Aaron Warner, he's not the best. He's not the best one. Okay? Don't come for me, okay? I get it. I understand the hype behind Aaron Warner. But when people said, like, Aaron Warner is the standard, I was reading, I was like, this is the thing. Like, what? Like, I don't know if I'm missing something. I think it really was if I would have read this when I was younger. I don't love the I hate everyone in the world but you men. Maybe when I was younger I would have been like, yeah, like I want my men to only love me. I'm like, no, like I want them to be nice to everyone. So I think that's the part that I don't like. I know people love Aaron Warner and I do love him. I understand the hype, but I don't think it's like the top man's, you know? I just think it's a little maybe too overhyped. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know people love him. And then I really did a 180 and I matched my book. This is White Oleander by Janet Finch. I saw this book a few times on, I think it was like Pinterest, and it's really the cover. Like, look how cool. I just love this cover. So basically it follows a girl, Astrid, who I believe the story starts out and she is like 12 or 13. She's a daughter to a single mother and she doesn't really know her father. And this isn't a spoiler because it's in the synopsis. Her mom is very strong, independent woman, but she ends up meeting this man and she becomes obsessed with this man. The man ends up like kind of rejecting her. She literally kills this man because he rejected her. It literally says, Ingrid murders a man and is sentenced to life in prison. Because you got rejected? Sis. What do you mean you're gonna kill a whole man when you have a daughter and you're just gonna end up going to prison? I'm sorry. Like, okay. Like, you crazy girl. Anyways, so this follows Astrid when she's in foster homes, and it follows her throughout her life and her growth, and she always loved her mother. Obviously, she always will. It's a really interesting read because it talks about the foster system and it's honestly really messed up. The stories that are in this is just crazy and it just makes you really aware of the foster system. I think this book brings a really good awareness to the things that happens in foster systems. And honestly, it took me a little bit to read it since it's not the typical book that I read. But I'm genuinely really glad I read it because it shows so much character growth and just growing up and taking back your power. I gave this a 4-star. I would have given it a 5-star. There was some parts that I found were a little bit slow, but regardless, a 4-star. Last on the roster, this is actually from a local author in Calgary. This is Better Proposal by Ellery Douglas. And there's like the little tower that you see in Calgary in there. This was a really cute read. I mainly got it because the author had signed it. And I wanted to support like a local author. I didn't know much about it. It's this girl named Jill and this man, Alex, that work together to work on a proposal for a project that Alex is working on. They have met before, like this is not their first time meeting, and so there's like, it's maybe like the smallest bit of enemies to lovers, like the smallest bit of enemies to lovers. So Jill just moved from Toronto to Calgary, so she doesn't know anyone, and she finds out she's like working with this man that she knows before and they weren't exactly friends. And basically it takes you through the little romance, and I do think there was a little bit of writing that I just don't think was natural, but I found myself thinking that a little bit too much. I was like, it's a little bit too much. Like, I don't think I would say that. But it was really cute. It was very lovey-dovey, very cute. I gave it a 3-star though. I've read better romances. Nothing crazy, but it was good. It was good. So these are all the books that I read in February and March. And that is everything I have for you all today. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to. Follow my Instagram, my TikTok, if you feel like it. And comment down below if you liked any of these books. And yeah. goodbye. See you next week.